So it's the end of the year, or the beginning of the new year. You know what time it is for that. It's time for me to rank the top 10 books I read in 2025. I read about 20-something books, so I had to narrow it down to 10, and here's my list. Number 10, we have What the Eyes Don't See, a story of crisis, resistance, and, and something. Hold on. Anyway, What the Eyes Don't See by Mona Hanna. I don't have the book with me right now. I don't know what happened to it. But this is a nonfiction, I think the only nonfiction book I've read this year. It's about how this pediatrician exposed the Flint Ridle crisis, with a very harrowing tale of government corruption and doing, how a lot of people in the government do the easy thing instead of doing the right thing, and how they're motivated by external factors such as money and stuff. I thought it was a really good book, but a little long, gonna be honest. I feel like sometimes he repeats himself a lot in the book, but overall, pretty enjoyable. Not usually my type of books I read. This was for an English class in college. I went to college, so yeah, honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by that book. Number 9, we have Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson, which is the Stormlight Archive 3.5. I thought this was a pretty good book. It focuses on characters you don't usually pay attention to in the Stormlight Archive, which makes it a nice little, side book. I know Brandon calls this a novella, but it's pretty long for a novella, so I decided to include it here as a book. But yeah, if you like the Stormlight Archive, you probably like that. Speaking of the Stormlight Archive, number 8, we have Rhythm of Roar, which is this big, monstrous beast. And I gotta be honest, I don't know what the fuck happened in it. I say that about every Stormlight Archive book I read. I don't understand what's going on half the time. I just kind of roll with the punches, right? I like the characters a lot. Number 7 is Oathbringer. So I guess my review kind of counts for both of these. Very hard to understand. I feel like Brandon Sanderson overcomplicates these books a lot for my tiny little noodle, but he makes up for it with good characters. I also do not fully understand the magic system because it's way too confusing. But I like the characters a lot, like I said. Moving on to number 6, we have Oathbringer by Diana Gabaldon. This is the first book in the Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This is the first book in the Outlander series, which has 9 books at the moment, and I think it's going to have 10 total. Very emotional book, I would say. It's about this woman from the 1940s who gets sent back in time to the 1700s in Scotland, where she meets Jamie. Not this Jamie, though in the TV show she does meet that Jamie. She meets Jamie, who is a Scotsman, and kind of has to adjust to living a 18th century lifestyle, without all the modern technologies he has in the 1940s, as well as the ways that women are treated and expected to behave, and has to deal with all this stupid shit like witchcraft and stuff. I think it's a pretty good book. It's kind of, I don't know, emotionally hard to read, though. There's a lot of violence in this book, a lot of sexual assault, but I feel like the way it's done is done tastefully. It's not there for just shock value. It's there to actually enhance the plot and the characters. So I'll give it a pass on that, but it is emotionally taxing to read, I would say. Number 5 is Secret History, which is kind of a bridge between the original Stormlight Archive series and the original Mistborn series and the Rax and Rain series, which are both set on the same planet, Scourgiel, in Mistborn. I liked Secret History because it shows what happens to Kaladin in the afterlife and how he actually influenced a lot of the events in the second and third book. And it shows that he's actually back for the next book, maybe. Who knows? I haven't read that one yet. But I thought it was really interesting. Seemed like out of all that he went through and all that Ven and Edmund went through, it was, I felt like it was like this cathartic experience reading it, that he has some sort of a resolution, I don't know, it just felt like I got closure from that. Moving on to the Bands of The Bands of Mourning. Sorry, I can't read. This is book 6 in the Stormlight Archive. Let me try to find that. Yeah, The Bands of Mourning. Book 6 in Mistborn, aka Book 3 in the Rax and Rain series. I thought this one amps up the stakes. It really delves into the characters. A lot of emotional moments here. Very solid book, I gotta say. Not gonna lie, though I'd never lie on this channel. I really enjoyed this one. And it wasn't as confusing as a lot of the, as the Stormlight Archive books. So those make me feel like I'm stupid. Okay. 3, 2, and 1 kind of feel like cheating because I've already read these books back in middle school. But I gotta go with Harry Potter books 5, 6, and 7. 5 being third place, 6 being second place, and 7 being first place. Like I said, I read these in middle school, but my whole journey with reading Harry Potter now is to see if they're still good reading them as an adult than they were reading them in middle school, and I gotta say, yes, they are still amazing books. There's nothing I could say about them that hasn't already been said, but yeah. You know, sometimes things are popular for a reason, and Harry Potter is definitely one of those things. So, yeah, I don't think I was blinded by nostalgia. There's a lot of things I've read in these books that I kind of forgot about back then, and they enhance the story much more, and it's a shame they weren't included in the movies, but I'm a little lenient because the movies have to take these long-ass books, these huge chunkles, especially number 5 is huge, and put them into like a 2.5-hour movie. You can't really blame them, though. Then again, Lord of the Rings had the movies be like 3.5 hours or 4 hours, so they could have done that, but it is what it is. So yeah, those are my top 10 books this year. One was by Mona Hanna, one was by Diana Gabaldon, 3 was by J.K. Rowling, and 5 was by Brandon Sanderson. I know, I read a lot of Brandon Sanderson books this year, didn't I? So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite books were that you read this year, and what books do you think I would like based on my picks. Till then, peace.